So I am in the route table and this is my route table. And if you focus over here, I have configured this as my main route table, okay? Because I wanted to make sure that I have a internet gateway attached in this route table. So I have this internet gateway ID for my default, so I'm using it. Okay, so it's, I think in the VPC work is done. Enabling auto signing IPv4 address. Let's check the resource base name. No. DNS6 setting. No. Just a second, guys. I'm checking that we don't make any mistake just like yesterday. So I'm just checking the settings once again and again. Okay. These settings are not required. So till now we have created our VPC and we have created two subnets and we have created route tables. This is my main route table and this one is for my private route table. Let's check it out. Yes. So let add a name to it so we don't forget that this one is for. Okay. 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 Mm. Now we will configure two EC2 instances in each of our subnets. Selecting Windows, checking these settings. Okay, creating the key, create new pair, key name. Let's edit the network info, default, my VPC, subnet, public subnet. Let's wait till this instance start. Okay, now it's in the running state. Let's connect with this instance. Take RDP file, download RDP. Let's get password. Guys, it is telling us to wait at least 4 minutes before retrieving the password. So, okay, no problem. We can do other things.
Create the second instance.
Let's do that. And we also have to create our NAT gateway. So after this, we will configure the NAT gateway and assign a elastic IP to it. We have just created public one. Let's create the private EC2. Let's use the same key. Edit network settings. Default. No, this is for our own VPC private subnet. Okay, good. So in private subnet, auto signing of public IP is disabled. So no public IP. Okay, let's launch this one. We are in our VPC console and let's configure our NAT gateway. Let's create a NAT gateway option name. NAT gateway subnet in public subnet, because in public subnet only we have our internet gateway connectivity. Elastic IP is allocated and it's here now in use. So name, now let's create. Now see the tab of Elastic IP. Let's see if we have Elastic IP. We have this Elastic IP and what actions, view details. If we release this IP, then it means we have a IP under our name, then mean it will still be causing charge to us. And associate address, so instance network interface. If you want to connect the IP with an instance, then you have to choose the instance. But for network interface, you have to choose from here. But we have already assigned it to our NAT gateway. So if you want new, you can associate it from here. So this one is Elastic IP.
So this elastic IP was created itself.
No, we have assigned it to our NAT gateway while we were creating the NAT gateway. There is an option over there for Elastic IP, because I told you that NAT gateway strictly works on Elastic IP only, because our traffic will not be hitting an auto-generated port. They will be go on to the same IP each and every time for the security region. We are using NAT gateway for our private subnet. That's why we want that traffic whenever it going out, it only go to a specific port. Okay. Now let's go back to the VPC. When we were creating the NAT gateway over here, you see, this is the NAT gateway. Connectivity public, because we have given it a public subnet. Our primary IP is our IP. Okay, guys. If you have any confusion, let me show you again. Let's go back to the NAT gateway and create a NAT gateway. While we were creating it, in this tab, I have given the name, and in this, I have selected this subnet. Then in this one, I have selected the connectivity type. We are putting it in the public subnet. That's why we are clicking the public
Yeah,
connectivity. And over here, it has the elastic IP allocation
we are
assigned.
making selection of existing Elastic IP, no? But
Mm-hmm.
where did it came
No,
from?
no, I have clicked allocate elastic IP. Then it made it easier. It just allocated it, and we have assigned it to this this NAT gateway.
Okay,
From
okay,
here,
that's it. Yeah, this generated a new Elastic IP, right?
yes, yes, yes. If you want, I can delete it and I show you guys the process again.
Now it's clear. Clear.
Okay. Now let's go back to the EC2, and in the instance we have two instances running. So let's configure, let's RDP this one. So it's starting up. Now, okay. So, guys, this instance is the part of our public instance. Let's see what are the configuration in this particular instance. We have just RDP this particular instance, and this is the ID. Let's check. Okay. So, IPv4 address, we have a IPv4 address, we have a VPC ID. You can check this is the VPC we have created 007, and it is the part of our, tell me guys, public public subnet. Okay, this is the
Whether
yes, this instance is in our public subnet. That's why we are able to RDP it from the outside. Okay, let's try the same thing with the private one. Okay, try this. If we have things right and according to the chart, then the result should be that we are not able to connect. But let's try download the RDP file and let's get password.
so it will not connect, huh?
Yes, guys, it will not connect. Now let's stop this. Okay, this is my public EC2 instance, right? Now I will RDP from here. I will try to RDP from here. Let me search remote desktop connection. We have this over here. Okay, uh, so let me put the password so I don't forget it. Okay, going back to the instance, and this is my private instance, and I want the IP so I can RDP it. If we have a route connected that is allowing all the internal traffic in our VPC, and this EC2 reside inside the VPC because this is the part of our public subnet. So let's check. Okay, my bad. I'm putting the private IP over here. Let's try to connect. It is asking for the username and the password. Okay, so let let me copy this password from here. Copy and
Spelling is in.
oh, okay. Sorry. Keyboard is not working. Wait a second, guys. So it's loading. Okay, so let's minimize this. You can see. Guys, if you can check the details over here, you will see that this is my private IPv. This is that instance which is the part of private subnet, and I am accessing this through the help of my public EC2, because the local communication in between the two subnets is allowed. Got it?
Okay, but it is showing no internet connectivity, no?
In this, yes, because we have not configured any net gateway. Okay, so when we
But
okay, so this one is the public. Let's reopen it. Okay, so you guys can check out. This is my public instance, and through this instance, I am connecting. I am doing RDP to my private instance. Okay, is it clear, guys? In this one, we have connectivity because this has the internet gateway. So we have network connected. But in this particular one, if you check, we don't have any connectivity. So let's cross. Okay. Now, what we have to do, we have to configure NAT gateway in our,
private subnet.
hmm, are you saying something?
In private subnet, huh?
This, we have created the NAT gateway. Now we have to associate, okay. So we have this NAT gateway, and let's see where the traffic is heading if we have any allocation. Okay, this one is for the secondary. Gateway ID, connectivity, public time. Okay. Okay, what we have to do in the route table of our private subnet, we have to attach the NAT gateway. Okay, that's what we were forgetting. So this one is not the main one. This is for our private uh, subnet. So let's check what are the configuration, what are the settings. So do we have a route? Yes, we have a local route. Let's edit, add a route. So we want any traffic that is going to the internet will go to our NAT gateway. We have a NAT gateway configure. So save changes. We are saving these changes. Now we have the connectivity. Okay, guys. So now to check that, what we have to do, same thing again. We have to connect with our
Public first, then private.
yes, yes. Because from outside traffic is not allowed. So let's do the same thing. I should not have like, okay. I have disconnected the connection, so I am reconnecting. Let's do the whole process again. From we have to connect to the public one. So let's RDP. Opening up. I am now inside the public instance. So let's configure. Okay, from here I haven't disconnected the connection, so it is still connected. Okay, so this one is my private IP address. So you can check over here. Now I have connectivity in this also. Okay, guys, you can
Yes.
check. Yes, this is the private IP address. I haven't disconnected this from the inside of the instance. So you can see the service is still running. So let's, okay, guys, this is our VPC lab. So the other things what you have to do. Okay, so you can check if you are able to ping website. Okay, after doing the configuration, I have shown that how you can able to connect the NAT gateway. Once you are able to connect the NAT gateway, how you will check the connectivity? You will ping the other website. You will try to trace your route. You will check the private instance accessible from outside or not. So you should not be able to access your private instance, and both of these two things should be accessible to you. You should be able to ping any website from the inside, and tracer should also work, and show how total IP. Okay,
You have made one of the subnets as main. Is it a necessary step?
one as no, I have made one route table main.
Yeah.
Yes, internet gateway na, you don't get it to have two internet gateway for your VPC. So the one they have in default is the up internet gateway. For have another internet gateway that I wanted to attach, for that I have to pay. That's why I'm using the gateway that is already in the default. In the default mode, what is happening, whatever instance you will create in your VPC, they are able to communicate because they have an internet gateway. So I wanted that gateway to be part of my public subnet, so I made the public one my main route. It has the internet gateway, and I added the local route also. So I detach that internet gateway from the default VPC, and then reattach it to VPC, my VPC 007, if you remember. Let me show you. So when we have internet gateway, it was showing that we have this particular internet gateway. But before it was attached to default. But I have selected this one and I deattach this from the VPC. And after deattaching it, I simply reattach it with my VPC. Okay. So network VPC has some mapped public address. Please unmap those public address before deattaching the gateway. So I am not able to why I am able to deattach it from the default one, because at that moment we don't have any service running, we don't have any EC2 running, we doesn't have any Amazon service running under this internet gateway that might be connected with this internet gateway. But right now we have one public subnet which is attached with this internet gateway, and we have a public IPv4 address that is attached with this internet gateway, not with this internet gateway, but they are connected with this internet gateway. So before reattaching it, I have to delete or maybe reattach from there. So from the route table, I have to delete this route before reattaching. So we have three routes over here. Both of these two route I have created, and this one is for default. Before in this route, we have the internet gateway, but then I have created my main route for my table. Let's see. In this, I have all the local connectivity open, and I have the internet gateway also. Now let's check private route table. In this also we have two routes, one for the NAT gateway and one for the local. So if you come again to our mapping, you will see this is what we have to do. This is what we were achieving to do. We have created two route tables for our private and public subnet. In our public subnet, what we have? In our public subnet, we have internet gateway in this green section you can see, guys, we have internet gateway attached and we have local route attached. In main route we have local route attached and net gateway attached. So from my public subnet I am able to go over to the internet, but I am not able to receive any connectivity, only the package I ask for. Okay.
There is one difference I can see, like we have created route table.
Mm-hmm.
In this new route table, we have the NAT gateway, and here it is given in the main route table.
If you remember, I converted this as my main route table, right? Okay. You see in the
This is
route table
not
section,
main.
my route table is the main one. You see, main, I convert this when I was doing, and while I was doing that, I
But
show you like.
yeah, but
Hmm.
within this main, we have configured the internet gateway. Na? You can see at the bottom. Scroll down.
Yes,
Ah, with main internet gateway was mapped,
yes.
but in the diagram it was reversed.
It just naming. Okay, okay, I got it now. What you were asking. You are saying that in our main route table we have the internet gateway, but in the diagram in our main route table we have the net gateway, right? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, so it is not making any difference, na, in
No, no, no.
functionality. Okay.
Nah, it is not. I'm just telling you, this one is my main route table because I wanted my public subnet to be my main subnet. Okay. If I go back to my route tables and just a second, guys, let me. Okay. Let's select the this one, uh, set as main route table. It's just as simple as that. I just type set and it will make it my main route table. You seen it, guys? I have just changed it. Still, it will not create any hustle because configuration is the same. If I call this my main one, what will happen? Nothing happen. I have net gateway and local subnet attached. So this my private table is my main route table. Now my private table, my main route table is my private route table, not my public one. So nothing is changed, but we just changed the name. We just selected that I want my main route table to be the private. Any doubt, guys? Have you guys understood what we have configured in VPC, each and everything? Do you want me to repeat anything, guys? Please do let me know. I don't have any problem in repeating, whether it is VPC, whether it is EC2, whether it is any theory part. If you have anything that you want me to repeat or you want to have a better understanding, just please do let me know.
Please do let me know.
Yes, we can assign. Yes, we can assign a static IP.
I- Your voice is bouncing.
I think everyone's voice is bouncing because yours also I heard it 2 times.
Yeah, yeah. I think someone is unmuted or something.
Let me just go to the chat and try to mute it you all. Okay, it's fine now, I guess. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
it is all.
okay. We can assign static IP to an instance. So, but our NAT gateway, I told you many times, why do we want a static IP for NAT gateway? So that's why we have assigned it to our NAT gateway. But if you want to assign a static IP to your instance, then you can uh, create a new elastic IP. You can associate to your EC2 instance or whatever service you want to attach it to, whatever internet gateway is route table associated with device or with VPC. Okay, so route table are associated with your subnets also and for with your VPC also. So if you go to the route table again, right? We are in the route table, sorry. Okay, let's check this route table. Do we have any subnet association with this one? No, we don't have any subnet association, but it is still a route table and it is still considered as main of what? Main of this VPC, this default VPC. You see, we have two VPCs over here. So route table, they are what they are doing, they are just routing the traffic. So where we want to route our traffic. So even we are in the VPC, we still want to route our traffic to our different subnets or maybe to our different instances. So in this default, let me show you the mapping, guys. So let assume, guys, you are this is your first time you are using AWS and now you are in your console and you are configuring your EC2. So this is your first time you are now creating your EC2. What will happen? You never heard about VPC, you don't know what about the route table, but default VPC and default route table will automatically get generated because your EC2 has network connectivity. You are able to ping Google, you are able to visit any website. It has internet. So why it has internet? Because it has connectivity. So behind the background they are running services and for that we have defaults. Okay, so the question you asked, route table are for VPCs also, for subnets also. They are just routing the traffic. How many route one VPC can have? One VPC can have one route table. Once you like, it can only get attached to one route table because it is a set of rules and one class of communication will follow one particular rule to get the traffic through, and one particular class will follow another rule. You cannot apply two type of rule books on the same classification. So that's why one route table is attached with one particular, either it can be a VPC or it can be a subnet. I can make multiple subnet to be a part of my one route table. I can attach multiple subnet in my route table, but one VPC will have one route table, one subnet have one route table, but one route table can have many subnet associated with it. Is the main route table is default route table? Yes. So your main route table is your default route table, and whenever you creating a subnet, get a default route table in which local communication is allowed, because they both of these two subnet are the part of the VPC. So when you are selecting and you are making two subnets, so what it mean? So AWS makes your work very easy. So you don't have to go and add the local route itself. They give you the main route table, and in that table, default is already added, because you are making part of one VPC. Both of my public and private subnet are the part of my VPC 007. So local route should be allowed. So by default, they allow that and give you the route tables. Can we have multiple route? Can we have multiple route tables? Is it possible to set priority? Okay. So the priority main route table will the table, and for our VPC, if you have your two subnets, and for my private subnet I want another route table, and for my public subnet I want another route table. So you can have as many route table, as many CDR blocks, or you can say segment of network you have. Okay. But in free tier there is a limit. I am talking about organization. When your organization asks how many route table we can have on cloud, you should say as many as we want, but there are charges applied. In free table there is a limit. I guess in VPC there is a limit of 5. In instances also there's a limit of 5 or 6. So I will make sure that I will show you the page of limit of free tires, limit of the service they are providing in free tire. So yeah, uh, is is that what you were asking? Uh, Parveen Desai, is that what? Okay. So one VPC can have multiple route tables. No, uh, Travis, one VPC can only have one route table, and one route table can have multiple subnets, multiple VPCs associated with that, because route table is your rule book. Will you apply like 2 3 rule books to one class of segment, one segment of IP? They are already following a rule book. If you have other rules, you will just attach that into that rule book. Why you will give them another set of rule book, another set of route table? If you have any traffic you want to allow or any traffic you want to block, you will just add it into your route table. You don't have to make another route table and then attach into your VPC to make that happen. Okay. Multiple route tables, I mean, as over here you can see we do have multiple routes. Okay. Can we have multiple route table? It is possible to set priority. So when I read this question, I assume that Parveen is asking, can we create multiple route tables? We can create multiple route tables. And is it possible to set priority? Yes, you can set them main and as non-main, as custom. Okay. So, Travish, you are asking that if we, okay, so Travish, let me clear it out. With one VPC, you can attach one route table. Why? Because route table is just like a rule book. If you want that your VPC or your subnet follow some more rules, what will you do? You will just add those rules into the rule book. You will not create another rule book and then give it to the VPC. No, you will just add your rules into the route table. So we can have multiple route tables. We can create as many route table as we want in the business requirement. If we have 10 subnets, we can create 10 different route tables rather than making all those 10 subnet a part of a one route table or two route table or five route table. I can create 10 route tables and can create 10 uh, and can associate each subnet with these 10 route tables. So each subnet has its own route table. This is also possibility. So for setting priority, what you will do, you will just make your in your VPC, you will set one route table as your main route table. Okay. I hope it's clear now, guys. Any doubt? Okay. Travesh, what about you?
Yes. Yes. Hi. Sorry. Let me ask the question again. So you mentioned that we can have multiple route tables, right? And we can associate a separate subnet to them. And one
Mm-hmm.
of the route table we can make it a main route table. And so how that will work? So let's assume we have a three subnet, and
Mm-hmm.
we created three route table, and one of them is main route table. So all
For
these
VPC. For VPC.
for VPC, yes.
Yes.
So how it will work? Like, let's say in our VPC we have three different subnets, right? And we are creating a three different route table here.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So will all three route table will be part of one VPC?
So your subnet is associated with private route table. Let's say you have a private subnet and that is associated with your private route table. So
Okay.
in that route table, what kind of rule you will add? You will might add a NAT gateway and your local route, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So in the default VPC in your main route table, what is happening? All the traffic between the local route is allowed. That's why it is there. So as your subnet is the part of VPC, but it is just another. It is just a section. Is a set of section in your VPC. Your VPC, it is what is it? It is just range of IPv IP addresses. Let's say in my VPC, let's assume in numbers. Let's talk about number. In my VPC, I have 6 IPv, and in my VPC, then I create classes of two subnet. I give 3 IP in one subnet and 3 IP in second subnet. Then what it mean? Again, the route tables and IPs and subnet are part of my VPC. They are, but they still have their own identity, like a subnet. They are still creating and dividing it. We are creating a class and division. Why? Because we want that one section should go on to the network and one section should stay private for company requirement. Is that what were you asking?
Uh, well, so I'm having confusion here, like how the routing will happen. I mean, like I'm from the network background, so like generally the
Mm-hmm.
routing happens, right? Let's
Mm-hmm.
say we have a router,
Yes.
and any packet comes into the router, it looks into the routing table, and we have
Yes.
only one routing table. I mean, there are
Yes.
multiple routing tables, but the main routing table have all the I mean all the sequence, like
Yes.
which how the route will follow, which route will be priority.
Yes. Exactly.
So here we have multiple route tables, and you mentioned that one route table will be attached with the VPC.
Mm-hmm.
So that any packet within the VPC, if it wants to traverse or even if want to go out of the VPC, then it will follow that route table, right?
Okay.
If I'm
So
correct. Okay.
yes, yes. So let me just repeat the question. So you are asking about the route tables, how it is working. So by priority, I understood that Praveen is asking if we can set the priority in route tables. Let's say we have three route tables right over here, and if we can make any one of main. So I was think that he was asking if we can make main, if we have three route tables, and if we want to make main our route table, like any route table in between of those three, can we do that? So I thought he was asking like that. But in the route priority, when we come inside the route table, you see we are just attaching routes over here. So it's not like a proper router environment. We are not able to access the router. We are somewhere a physical router is set up, and we are just getting a section of that list. So let's say, let me get the paint.
Okay, so this part I understand. Like it will follow it will match the subnet,
Mm-hmm.
the most. I mean it will match the subnet and it will do the routing. So this part I understand. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is, so which route table it will follow? Like the one which is attached with the VPC, the main route table.
No,
So
no, no.
every
If the traffic belongs to a particular subnet, the traffic originating from the destination, sorry, from the source. When packet arise from the source, then the source is a part of a network. If the source is part of the VPC, then it will go to the VPC's route table. But if the source is the part of subnet, then the source is know that I have to follow the subnet's route table, because it is the part of the subnet, and we have put it that EC2. Let's say the source is the EC2 which is present in our particular subnet. Then we have associated that subnet to a particular route table. So that's how the flow will work.
Okay. Okay, so first it will follow the route table associated with the subnet. If that there is no route table, then it will follow the route table associated with the VPC.
Yes, if you have no subnet, okay. If you have no subnet, if your instance is present in the VPC, it's only in the VPC, then it will follow the VPC route tables rules. So it automatically know on which network it is present. It is if it is a part of a network that belongs to a subnet, then what it means, it will follow the route table that is associated with the network.
Okay.
So
Can you show the route table which is associated with subnet? I mean, how it looks difference.
this is the default route table that is associated with your VPC, and this is these two we have did the configuration in. This one is the private and this one is the public. Which one you want me to open?
Okay, the one associated with subnet.
These both two are associated with the subnet. This one is for the private, this one is the public.
Okay, can
We
you
have,
open? Okay, you can open the public one.
yes, the this one is for the public subnet. And as you remember, I have changed it configuration. So before it was the main, but now it is not the main. So as it is part of the public subnet, I have attached the internet gateway in this one because I want internet connectivity, and all the local traffic between the this CDR block is allowed because this route is attached. Now let's see, this is what subnetting is has been done over here, because if you check the subnet mask of uh, my VPC.
So one question here. So that route table which you show me, the public route table, it has the NAT
Mhm.
gateway and the 10 series subnet. So it means 10 series subnet can only go out to the internet, right? And it can
Yeah,
come back. It cannot communicate with other subnet in the network.
it can within the okay. So you can see over here the
I mean,
IPv4
let's say,
block.
yeah,
It's yes, this
sorry,
one.
let's say there is a 192 series subnet, we created one more subnet and we
Hmm.
put some servers, then it won't be able to communicate with that, right?
No, until
Because
and unless we attach a route to it.
route to this specific route table, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So
Okay.
if you are attaching some server and if you are making, let's say you are creating a different subnet for them so that you can apply rules and you have multiple servers. If you just attaching one server, you can just attach without having a subnet. Then you just have to attach the route. Otherwise, you will not have the connectivity.
Okay. Okay. So one question here. So let's say there is a server in the 10 series subnet and it wants
Mm-hmm.
to communicate with 192 series subnet server. And we don't have 192 series subnet here in this particular route table. But we
Mm-hmm.
have that subnet in the route table which is associated with the VPC. So will it check? Like first it will check the route table associated with the
And
10
both are
series
the
subnet,
no, both are the
and
part of the VPC.
10 series is associated with the, okay, so 10 series and 192 both need to be associated with the route table, one single route table, right?
Yes, they both have allow they should have these route attached to them, the local route. If they want to communicate, the particular network should have allowed route to their route table. That communication should be allowed. So if they don't have the route attached, then it means they are not able to communicate. That's the whole purpose of route table. If there is no route that is associating the communication, that is forwarding the packets out to that particular network, your 19.2. So in that way, the communication will not be possible because there is no route attached. So if your server is present in the VPC and it want to communicate within the VPC, but the section it want to communicate, it doesn't allow anyone from that local VPC. Over here you can see that my subnet is a part of 10.0.0.24 subnet, but it is the route table over here is 16. So it will not be able to communicate with the whole VPC, but only this subnet locally. The old communication are allowed. But if I want that it should go on to the slash 202318, what will do, I will attach the route, the destination, and a way out. Then I will attach if it is in the local communication. While we were adding the routes, you can see, guys, like let's say I want to attach another route 000. Okay, now there are, you can see core network. Is it in the my core network or address only network load balancer? This is another topic instance. So you can see you have many option you can add in your route. Peering connection, it is your peering connection or transit gateway. What is it? Private gateway, what is it? So you can attach according to your requirement, like what is your configuration require. If you have a server, then you can just attach a route. You can give that server elastic IP and attach a route to it. You
Okay,
have a
so
option. Yes.
yeah, one more question. Can you go back to the route table list? Okay, just related with the route table. So let's assume that we have subnet attached, right? So let's assume we have a one more route table here
Mm-hmm.
and we attach the same subnet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as per the rule, first it will look whenever the any device on that subnet wants to go out, it will look into the route table of that subnet.
First
Now
question
we
is,
have
can we attach
two.
attach two
We can,
subnet
I
with two
think,
route tables?
No, you can only
also.
attach one route table in one subnet.
Okay, okay. One subnet can only be attached with one route table.
Yes, but you can attach many subnet in one route table. I mean, if I want to attach more subnets, I will create more private subnet, then I will make them part of my this. I will attach this route table to it because they have if they are in the local domain, if they are in the /16 local domain, then I can apply this private. It's up to me if I want that I want to have three private subnet and I want one route table attached to them, I can do that. But with one subnet, it will follow only one route table. You cannot attach multiple route table with one subnet.
Okay, so okay, so okay, I understand this part. So one, okay, but only
Let me
confusion
just
is
okay, let me
like
just say it
inter-VLAN
again.
routing. Maybe you
Okay.
can show in the next another class like how the inter-VLAN routing will happen. Let's say we have two subnet,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say we have a Linux server subnet in 10 series, and we have a Windows server in 192 series. They want to communicate with each other. Then
Yes.
how it will happen?
Okay.
Like
You
how
are
the
saying we have
real
two
world
servers,
scenario.
right?
Yeah.
Then first thing I would like to ask, like where they are situated. Are they are the part of the same VPC? Are they are in the same region? So give me more
Yes,
details.
same VPC, same reason. Yes.
Same VPC, same region. Then if they are on the same VPC, then if they are not the part of any subnet, then by default they will follow the rule of VPC route table. So they are easily able to communicate because all local communication is allowed. But if both of these two server belongs to different subnet, what it means that inside our VPC we have a different section of subnet and these two belongs in different subnet, then they will follow responding route tables that are associated with their subnets. Okay, if there is a route by which they both of these two server can communicate, they will be able
Yeah.
to communicate, and if there is no route attached, then they will not be able to do that.
Okay. So in this scenario, let's assume that we want to communicate with each other. So in this scenario, route has to be with the VPC, right? We cannot use the route attached with the subnet, because if we attach the route with the subnet, let's say 10 series subnet, we attach with the 10 route, and 192 series subnet we attach with another route, then it will not work, right?
Okay, so what's your name again?
Travis.
Yes, Travis, you are asking me that you have two servers, okay?
Yes, in different subnets. Yeah.
Yeah, in different subnet. So your servers, if they are not part of the subnet, what it mean that they should reside somewhere. They should be in some IP range, right? They should be a part of a network. Otherwise, they are not like they are just blocks of computer. They are nothing. They are not be server if they are not running. They are not communicating. So if when they are part of network, they reside somewhere. So if they are not part of subnet, they are part of what? They are part of your VPC automatically. They are in the range of your VPC range, VPC CDI block. Then automatically by default, it will follow the route table which is attached with your VPC.
Yeah,
But
and that will work. Yes.
yes, but if you go ahead and make sure that both of these server are present in your different subnets, then you have to attach route. Okay. But if they are not in subnet, then you have to see where they belong, if they are on what network they are on. Because if you want them to communicate, you have to make sure their network, they do have a communicate network. They have a networking going on in between, a connectivity should
So
you should have a connectivity over there. So you will check what network, what IP range they both server have, and what are the route and what are the route table. So if they do not belong to any subnet, what it means they belong to VPC. Let's see if they are not even in our same VPC, what will you do? One server is in our Mumbai VPC, Mumbai region VPC, and one server is present in our Japan, Tokyo region VPC. Then in case we will do VPC peering, we will see that in our coming lectures. So there are different ways. I hope I am just getting your questions right, because it just
Yes, I understand. So here, main thing is like one subnet can only be part of one route table, and if two
yes.
subnets wants to communicate within the same VPC and same region, then it has to be in same route table. Both the subnets has to be mentioned in same route table, right?
No, route is mentioned. Route should be mentioned. If
Yeah,
both of them
route
had,
should be mentioned. I mean, the
yes,
subnet should be mentioned in the routing table list.
yes, yes.
So both should be mentioned in the same route table, then only it will communicate.
Yes. And once again, I don't want anyone to have this confusion. You can not attach multiple route table with one subnet. One subnet will only have one route table, but one route table can have multiple subnet attached with it. Okay. Let's say we have subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, subnet 4. And I have one table, route table 1, route table 2, route table 3. So I can attach route table 1 with both of my subnet, like with all of 4 subnets, but not my never my subnet, one subnet will have two route table. Like let's say my subnet 1 will have route table 1 and 2 attached with it. That will not happen.
So
Only one route table
one
is attached.
yeah, I have one question. So maybe we have not went till that chapter. So the
Mm-hmm.
question is like in our real environment, right? So let's say in a traditional data center, we have
Mm-hmm.
like two subnets communicating with each other, and we divert them through the firewall, or we put the access list on the router. Like we
Mm-hmm.
allow the I mean, the few of the subnets, but not all of them.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
how we achieve here, like in the VPC?
Okay, so in coming lectures, we have a topic ACL list. So AWS also provide you the functionality of ACL. You can address a list in which you can declare the subnets and declare all the connectivity you want to have. So ACL will be the topic that will clear out all the doubt you will have regarding this particular section. Okay, about
Yeah,
the access list. So let's wait till then. VPC peering, we have one or two topic in between before we hit on that. So s-
okay.
stick to the
And
classes, and
yeah,
I will,
and
when we will be on the topic, you can just, I will let you know. Okay.
yeah, and one last question. So when we create the route table, it stays within the one zone, right? And within the one VPC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So any other doubt?
No, no, it's clear.
Okay. Thank you. So everyone, is it the case with everyone?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, that's good. That's great. So yesterday, guys, what happened? It just like some misconfiguration. I just forgot something, and at that time it wasn't clicking. So that's why it doesn't work yesterday. But now, today, what I have done and what I have done different from yesterday, I have followed the map one by one, and I have visited each and everything again and again. You could have noticed that I was visiting this map many like very frequently during this session rather than yesterday. So this is the reason it can happen to me, then it can happen to you, it can happen to anyone, because mapping is necessary. There's configuration. If we have step by step procedure, then we are able to go back. But if we don't have, and if we are not remembering how we are doing the configuration, then also it will cause the problem. So for today, we have done VPC lab, we have seen different things, and What you have to do, guys, you have to check, you have to ping a website, maybe it Google, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You have to do trace it. You have to check accessibility. If you are able to access your private instance from your RDP, from your personal computer RDP, if you are able to access your private instance from outside, then it means you have done some wrong configuration. Then go and check it again. Okay, guys, so these three things you have to check and configure your own instances into your own subnet that belong to your own VPC. Okay, make your route tables, configure your NAT gateway, and if you face any doubt, any problem, and anything that is not working, just note it down and we will clear it out in the next session. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yes, no problem. Our tomorrow we will study VPC peering. It is a very interesting topic, and now till now we have seen if we want to have connectivity in between our one particular VPC that belongs to a particular region, then how will we have the connectivity? What are the network settings will look like? But now when I am sitting in the one VPC, in my one VPC which is in the Mumbai region, and I want to talk to another VPC that belong to another region, what are the things, what are the configuration, what are the facilities I have, so we can communicate in between different VPCs. We will see how we will achieve that in the next lecture. So till now, guys, I urge you to do practice, do lot of practice when you are doing this lab. This lab is very important because in this you are configuring VPC and you are also configuring instances. You can do one thing while you are configuring this lab. Make sure you do all the configuration we have done till now. It will include creating AMIs, creating volumes, creating snapshot, creating routes, creating security groups. So do all of the configuration we have done till now, and this will give you a wholesome lab experience, and you will able to see if there are some things you still stuck or not. So if there isn't anything, then it's good. If there are some things you stuck on, then just bring them up to the class and we will solve it. Okay?
Is there
Oh,
no class tomorrow? It is a Saturday.
okay, guys, I have a bad habit. I don't remember days and timings. So whenever I'm saying you, I will see you tomorrow, it just means next consecutive day, not uh, the holidays, not the weekends, but the working day. So on Monday, I will see you. So you have 2 days. You can do the practice, and on Monday, you can bring your doubts to me. Okay?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, okay.
Could you please send the video recording? Because,
You haven't received the video recording till yet?
for yesterday and today, I think.
Okay, for yesterday and today. You will, okay, so the thing is, I am doing my part, what I have to do to make sure that you get your video recordings. So I don't have the access. You have to ask for from your administrator. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
yes, I can just forward your message in case they are not listening to you. I can just forward, but I don't think that's the case that they will not listen to you. So just talk to them. They will give you the sessions. Okay.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. So okay, guys, so this is it for today. I will see you on Monday and make sure you do your practice. Make sure you have your own doubts and make sure that when we are configuring, you know what we are configuring, why we are configuring, and how we are configuring. Because this is nothing, it is just an app. It is just an app. So it should not be that hard to configure. So it do provide us many console, many dashboard facilities. So we will check them out slowly. I will show you each and everything. But make sure that you are catching up in the practice. If you are not practice on your own, it will not make any difference. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for attending today's lesson, and I will see you on Monday. Take care. Bye bye.